Left Wilmington Toastmasters for another club in Los Angeles. Stuart Nadeau is going to give his icebreaker, and he's going to tell us about his adventures so far and where his journey has brought him. And we are so excited to welcome him to the lectern. And help me do that, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Great to see so many old friends in here and a handful of new faces. I'm in Wilmington right now on a vacation. I figured what better decision than to come out here, enjoy the hurricane, ride another one out. I had a blast during Florence. It was a good time hanging out with my brother for a few days and my family. I think that's one of my favorite things about hurricanes is you get to spend so much time with your family while you're riding it out. So I'm excited to be here. Today I'm going to break the ice again. I feel like so many things change throughout life. And in the past 18 months, I have changed pretty drastically. I've gone from living here in Wilmington to moving out to California. I'm going to spend the duration of the speech telling you a little bit about where I was, what I'm doing now, and maybe even what the future holds. So let me reintroduce myself. My name is Stuart Nadeau, and I'm a farm boy from Hampstead, North Carolina. My parents moved here in the mid-'80s. They had my 3 older brothers and decided they wanted to try one more time for a girl. Sure enough, they got me and my twin brother. Needless to say, my mom enjoyed every minute of having 5 boys running around the house. Sports ended up playing a huge role in my life. I've been playing baseball since I can remember, and then I transitioned and decided to wrestle in college. After wrestling in college, so many people asked just to kind of figure out the skill progression, when I started wrestling and how I ended up going to college. And my answer is always that my formal training started in 9th grade, but I've been wrestling since I can remember. My mom would always yell the same thing at us when we'd start wrestling in the house: take it outside. But I think my wrestling actually started a little before that. Rumor has it that I used to wrestle with my twin brother in the womb. And if I had to guess what it sounded like, my mom probably said something like, take it outside. And long story short, we were born a few weeks early. If there's one thing growing up on a farm taught me, it was just the value of working hard. And then after wrestling, I learned a little bit about how to work harder. And it taught me a lot about getting outside of my comfort zone and how much growth happens when you transition from being comfortable into something that's a lot more difficult and challenging, where you're able to expand the capacity of what you're able to take on. When I finished wrestling, I came back to Wilmington, was selling commercial real estate here, was in a great Toastmasters group, and was involved with a lot of other organizations. I loved my job. I was working with 2 of my older brothers and my dad. Loved living in this area, loved having all of my old friends around here, so I still knew a lot of people. But I felt like something was missing. I was in a very comfortable spot with a lot of familiar situations, and I hadn't experienced a lot of things in life. So I wanted to take advantage of the opportunity to use the flexibility of my schedule to leave Wilmington and go try out the big city. LA's a weird place. It's been a tough transition moving out there. Only knew 2 or 3 people in the area. Have been transitioning into some new jobs. As some of you know, in my previous speeches, I told you that in college I sold CutCo, the world's finest cutlery. Everyone knows the kitchen knives, right? So I'm getting back into that. I think it's a great way to network, meet a lot more people. And the company has a big focus on development, and I know that that'll be a great way for me to build on my skill set of both sales, networking, and just a good way to meet a lot of people. I plan on transitioning into management some with the company, so I can learn about managing people, and I know that that will be a skill that will help me out a lot in the future, regardless of what direction I want to go. I've picked up some new hobbies since going out there. Right now I'm learning how to dance. So that's exciting. I've been practicing my Spanish, mostly so that I can order at the food trucks in LA. That's where the best food is at, is the taco trucks. One of my big hobbies is sitting in traffic. I spend a lot of time doing that. Since moving, I've put a huge focus on personal development. I've spent countless hours lifting weights. I've been reading books, focusing on my goals. I've had the opportunity to travel more in the past 6 months than I have in the past 26 years of my life. So that's really opened up my eyes to everything that's happening in the U.S. and how so many different people live, from being in Nebraska in the cornfields, and Utah in the middle of the desert. I couldn't imagine people living out there, to the crazy city of LA. There are so many different ways that people can choose to live their lives, and being able to see all of those has helped me to open my eyes and craft a vision of how I want my life to be. I'm on the first few pages of a brand new chapter in my life, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds. I'd like to leave you with one of my favorite new quotes that I heard a couple weeks ago. Adversity willingly undergone is one of the greatest virtues. Thank you, great to see you all today.